Please share this video, guys, to friends and family who will need to know this information. Thanks. Hey guys, welcome to Tracie's Place. Today I'm going through the items that you would need during a quarantine. So some of these items you may already have, some items you may not have, some items you just will not be able to get, but this is just a good idea of what you should have during the quarantine. Sometimes quarantines may last between 2 to 4 weeks. So it's just good to be prepared. So I have a list of things and a show of items here, and I'm going to go ahead and go through everything, and then I'm going to save most of the commentary for reasons why and, you know, explanations. I'm going to save that for last because I know a lot of people just want to know, what do I need? So I'm going to go ahead and go through what you would need or what's good to have. Now, one thing I will say is if you cannot afford, there are some people who cannot afford to just go on a big, spree of buying things, last minute, and get things as you can, get what you can. Don't feel bad about what you don't have or what other people may have and what you don't have. Do what you can do for yourself and your family. Okay. All right. So here we go. Being indoors in case you get quarantined for 2 to 4 weeks, it's good to have a lot of things on hand. First, we're going to start with, it's good to have tissue, because if you are home with your kids and your spouse or whatever, chances are some of you could get sick without, not the coronavirus necessarily, but just, getting a cold or a flu or, whatever it is, a bad cough, temperature, all of that. So it's best to have everything in place if you cannot leave your house. So we have tissues, we have ibuprofen. If you take Tylenol or acetaminophen or whatever, have that on hand. If you get migraines, have your migraine medication on hand. If you have someone with allergies, Benadryl is good to have. It's safe to have Benadryl. It counteracts allergic reactions and different things. It's just important to have some Benadryl. Have gauze pads. There could be some little household accidents. Somebody might fall down the stairs. There's rough play going on when kids are closed up in the house together or whatever. Have some gauze pads or flexible, bandages so that you can take care of some things at home if you cannot rush out to the hospital. It's good to have this ointment, and that's for preventing infection and minor cuts, scrapes, and burns. And then this one is basically the same, antibiotic cream, and it's pain relieving also. Also, you want to have medicated chest rub to help with congestion in case there's a bad cold in your household. You want to have cold relief, the cold medicine. And I'm not real big on over-the-counter medicines, but sometimes you may have, home remedies at home, and they may not be good for your children or, an older adult in your home or something like that. And it's just good to have these on hand, over-the-counter things, because even though over-counter medicines do not heal or cure, they do help with the symptoms. They do help with the symptoms, okay? So you need some flu and severe cold and cough medicine, and then Clorox. So you need Clorox. This is a strong strength. You just need some regular disinfecting Clorox, okay? That you can wipe down germs and kill germs with. If you cannot get it, because I know right now here where we are, you cannot find this on the shelf. So get what you can. If there's an off-brand of disinfectant, get that. If you cannot find this, I'll show you in a second what you can do instead. I'll just go ahead and show you now. Alcohol. Alcohol is good for killing germs, and different things, disinfecting. So use alcohol. And then if you have sprays, cleaning sprays, they will help too. Okay, you want to have an antacid. You want to have like a stomach reliever. You want to have these sterile alcohol swabs if you can. If not, just a bottle of alcohol will be fine. Alcohol here, have alcohol on hand. 99% is great. That's most effective. If you have 70%, that's great. Anything less, the stronger the strength, the better it is, the more disinfecting it is, okay? So if you can find that on the shelves now, it's good to get it. And we have natural remedies here. Black elderberry, that's good for your immune system, because you want to start with natural remedies first, if you can, because they help to build up your immune system. These and then the natural, just the fruits and vegetables, and I'll get to those later. You want to be taking supplements and natural, medicines, or, whatever, like the black seed. I'm not saying this is medicine, but natural things. You want to take this on the front end to help your immune system so you won't have to get to this end if possible. Okay, so black elderberry is good. I use Kaleido Silver. That helps so much. I was taking that. That helped, I think, curb my cough really good. Manuka honey. It's really good. Black seed oil helps so many things. And then if you have vitamins, please, continue to take your vitamins. Have enough of those on hand for 2 to 4 weeks. If you have prescription medications, take that. If you have prescription medications, take that, okay? Turn that around. All right. Like I said, vitamins. If you take vitamins, keep taking your vitamins. Green tea is good. When you get sore throats and different things like that, gargle with salt and water and drink green tea when you get sick. Flu or just regular colds and things, this helps so much. And put honey and lemon in it. Okay, honey and lemon. Over here, you want your household cleaners. You want to wipe down your walls or whatever it is, your doorknobs, handles on the refrigerator. Make sure you're wiping down your sinks. Like I said, your handles on your sinks and bathtub, bath fixtures, because whether it's just you or your husband or you're sharing with your kids, germs still are transferred, okay? But once you get quarantined in altogether, hopefully, you'll all be good. But sometimes symptoms don't show up until later in one person, then they can affect the other person. So it's good to just, keep your areas wiped down. Tables, all that stuff, okay? LA Awesome is good. This is a Dollar Tree product, but it is it's known to be good. LA Awesome is a good brand. You want antibacterial things that disinfect, not just a general cleaner, but disinfectant. This is my own general cleaner that I made. These are disinfectants, antibacterial, sprays, blah, blah, blah. All right. It's good to have nasal saline, nasal spray on hand. It's good to have latex or nitrile gloves. Have some of those on hand. Masks, it's good to have these, not necessarily for being quarantined, but it's just good to have these on hand. If you're dealing with a sick child that could be questionable, and you don't know if they have, something real bad like the virus or whatever it is, when you're actually treating them or whatever, like I said, and you don't know what it is, put a mask on, okay? You're in the same room with a sick person, put your mask on. You might have to do some kind of little procedure on your child or spouse or whatever in the house. If you can't go out, you got gloves so you don't infect, okay? Always, above it, everything, wash your hands. Wash your hands. Hand sanitizers and things, I wouldn't say you need them for quarantine, because these are basically when you go out and you can't wash your hands, but still it's good to have these on hand if you can. We can't find these anywhere on the shelves, but I did have some already at home, so I do have some. This is my DIY. I'll leave the formula, the recipe at the end for my recipe for the DIY hand sanitizer. This is awesome. So you can make this on your own if you cannot find that sanitizers on the shelf. So you may have to run out to the grocery store. Say like there's some grocery stores still open or whatever, and you want to, have sanitize your steering wheel when you get back in the car. Sanitize the grocery cart, because they might be out of the little wipes when you go, to grocery store, whatever it is. And you guys, wear these out. If you have to run out or go out for any reason, and if it gets heavy and bad, where you are, a virus or whatever, use this when you go grocery shopping. you're touching everything, okay? Once you get your stuff in your car, take your gloves off, or you either throw them away, you know, just dispose of them, okay? All right. Toilet paper. You want enough toilet paper to last. I know people are going crazy with toilet paper and Clorox and all that stuff, but make sure you have enough for 2 to 4 weeks. Don't wipe out so that other people can't get it. You know, don't be greedy, but you know about how much you use. So have enough on hand. Soap. You want to have enough soap to last you. You don't want to be around the house stinking and you know, making everybody upset because you're not smelling well. So have enough soap around the house for everybody. Have toothpaste, deodorant, different things, lotion. Have body lotion. Some people don't think about that, and they run out of everyday hygiene products. So make sure you have your hygiene products stocked up. If you are home with, you know, just, you know, a woman at that age where you are still having your cycle, and you have a daughter at home and she has a cycle, so you want to have sanitary napkins and or tampons, whatever you use. You want to have that on hand. You want to have soap. You want to have hand soap or bars of soap, whichever you use. I don't know if you use hand soap or bar soap for your hands after you go to the bathroom or whatever, but you want to have soap or bar soap for bathing and hand washing, or hand soap, you know, by your sinks to wash your hands. You also want to have, now I'm going to get into the, paper towel. You want to have paper towel on hand. If you can't buy a whole bunch of paper towel and all of that stuff, some people have hand towels hanging in their bathroom or by their kitchen sinks, so that after they wash their hands, they can just dry it with that. Make sure those stay as clean as possible. You might want to change those every 2 days or so, because they stay clean for the most part if people wash their hands clean, you know, good. If people wash their hands good, then the towel won't, you know, get all dirty and stuff. But if you have little ones, they half wash their hands, you know, change it often, get it washed and changed often. But if you can do paper towel, get paper towel in bulk, and, you know, have enough to last. And you get napkins too if your family uses napkins. Down to the food. Okay, we're gonna go healthy first. You want to have fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables if you can. You can keep them in the refrigerator. Like, we keep oranges out for a couple of days because I like mine's room temperature. They're more flavorful that way, but until you use them, you can store them in your refrigerator, you know, to keep them from going bad. You want apples. You need your vitamin C. Like I said, you want natural things with antioxidants in it and vitamins and things to keep your body's immune system up, so that you will not have to resort to those if you can help it. Okay, so oranges and citrus has vitamin C. Apples is good for fiber and all the other good things apples for. I'm not going to say, you know, I'm not going to go all into that. I mean, you can Google all that. Go ahead and do your research, but it's good to have fruits and vegetables. Lemons are good for, they have vitamin C in them. It's good for when you have colds to put in your tea. Soluble fiber, a whole bunch of different things, okay? Blueberries and blackberries, these can be frozen. Now, oranges and things, it's not the best to be frozen, but if you want to freeze these, and lemon, you can use the juice from it when they thaw out. If you're not concerned about eating them, you can put these though in smoothies. When they're frozen, you just take them out, because it's basically just the juice and the fiber or whatever that you need for smoothies, and for the taste of it and the vitamins that are in it. So yeah, you can freeze it if push comes to shove. Okay, you can freeze blueberries and things before they go bad, and blackberries, but these are so good. Dark berries are good. They have a lot of antioxidants in them, okay? Also, getting to the not so good stuff. If you have kids at home, you want to have things that they can eat that's yummy. You're going to be home for 2 to 4 weeks, and Jell-O makes kids happy. And people are going to be cranky here and there, cooped up in the house together, okay? So you want things that taste good and things that they can make also themselves. Give them something to do around the house. There'll be other things that I'll list in a minute that you can get them to do to not be so bored. But yeah, give them something to make. Get them in the kitchen. This is the time to get them in the kitchen and doing things so they can make their own Jello and put fruit in it. And you can do canned fruit. I wouldn't. It's okay. You want to get cans that are like right here. They have. You see that there now, BPA free, non-BPA. I'm sorry, non-BPA, because people were concerned about the aluminum leaching or whatever in the can. BPA. So they are making safer cans, and sometimes you just wonder because you're like, okay, well, what's the substance that they use instead of the BPA stuff? So anyway, do your research. Be cautious, but don't be fearful. You need things to eat and to, for quarantine. So get what you can. And then back here we have, get the snacks that your family likes. And then here are some Nicole peanut butter crackers, just something quick, little snacks and stuff. Get chips, whatever to tide you all over. As far as, and you should have your frozen foods also, you guys. Your meats and different things, have them in the refrigerator or frozen until you need them. Your rices, your beans, all that good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go into my little commentary now. And that'll just be a few minutes. But if you want to stick around to learn the who's and what's and why's, stay tuned. Okay, guys, now for the little extras. There's going to be other things that you can get, of course. You get your beans and your rices, like I think I just mentioned. Your beans and rice. Potatoes, they last a while, like a bag of potatoes. You need things of substance that you can eat, you and your family can eat. Have those things on hand that will last 2 to 4 weeks. And there's other things, of course, some things I can't even remember right now, but you have your canned goods, your vegetable canned goods and things that are shelf stable that will last a while. Then you want to have things, of course, in your freezer. You may want to freeze some fresh vegetables, bags of fresh fruits. Like we make smoothies, so I have that in the freezer, the fresh fruits. Let's see what else. Kale. We use kale in our smoothies. The yogurts might not last, but yeah, the yogurt should last a good month in the little containers. Kale, I could freeze that. I could wash it off, dry it, and freeze it. So there's a lot of things that you can do to be ready as far as food wise and supply wise. Okay, this is a new thing. Okay, coronavirus is not new, but it's fairly new to us. I think I've heard the name mentioned maybe a couple of times in my life. Probably can't even really remember, but it's fairly new to us as far as just being in the thick of it, especially. So it's fairly new to our health system. They don't know everything. They're kind of learning as they go. So, and different people will be saying different things. It's almost not clear how you catch it, and then they are saying some ways of how you catch it and different things like that. So the thing is to be cautious, to wash your hands, and also all this information that's floating around. I always say, eat the fish and spit out the bones. That's with everything. People will tell you, will just almost vomit information on you. You just hear everything, TV, the radio, people in your family, your friends, everywhere, coworkers. Use your common sense. Use what if you're one that believes in God, and use your common sense and use your faith. Okay, also just take in the information. The word says my people perish for a lack of knowledge. That's, I believe, spiritual knowledge and natural human knowledge. He gives us knowledge to learn, certain things that we have learned. So from different sources, eat the fish, take in what people say, the information, spit out the bones. Okay, some things just don't make sense at all. So some things you just want to spit out, like, oh no. But anyway, consider things that people are saying. When they tell you not to go out in large groups, and right now they're canceling schools. My son's school has been canceled. They'll be home for 3 weeks, as I understand. My daughter's college is canceled. We'll be going to get her. My husband will be working from home. So there's and they're saying not to gather in big groups because it's almost, I guess, like an airplane or the big cruise ships. You're sitting in one space, breathing in and out of air. And that's concert, churches, plays, just different things. So use your common sense. I know, and don't allow people to make you feel bad about your decisions for you and your family. You cannot live for anyone else. They can't live for you, and you cannot live for other people. So you have to pray about it. Sometimes God will tell you to go and do this and that, and sometimes He will tell you to stay. And some people say, well, I just had a feeling. I just had to, some people don't hear God saying stuff. They just, hear, I felt, whatever. Listen to your instincts if you're a person with that. But if you're a person of faith, listen to what God is telling you. If you have certain conditions, they're telling older people to stay at home. If you have little wee ones, you don't want to take little wee ones out too. They're in danger of young people, babies, and older people. And also, just because you are in the middle age range, don't think you are exempt. You can catch it. But that doesn't mean that you have to be frantic and panic. I agree with that as well. But if you have some people have certain underlying conditions and they're not supposed to be in big groups right now. So if you have an upper respiratory issue, a lung issue or something like that, you're not going to want, or your doctor will tell you, don't go out in large crowds during this time. And they have said this over the news. If you have lung conditions, upper respiratory, like I have asthma, I'm not going to be going in big crowds and different things like that because I have a pre-existing somewhat condition. Not that I don't have faith or anything like that, but it's almost like, to me, if you have diabetes and you're supposed to take your insulin or something to happen, and or if you don't have the faith to, or you're not there not to take your insulin, you know what I mean? You don't want to just not take it. If you have a condition, if you have, like my father had gout, so I know about gout. If you have gout, and they tell you not to eat certain things, but you go ahead and you eat pork rinds and you eating all this stuff, and it's going to affect your gout, but you go ahead and eat it anyway. That's not common sense. So this is the same thing. If you have pre-existing conditions, you're not supposed to go out in crowds and things like that because it's more contagion there. Then don't do it. Don't let other people make you feel bad about not going, or whatever the case may be. All right, my camera's about to run out, so I want to hurry up and tell you these few things, and I'm going to be using my notes because I don't want to skip anything. It's too much to remember. Also, what you want to get or want to have for children, for babies, you want to have Pampers, your pull-ups, formula, baby food, thermometer. You want to have that for the whole family, thermometer to take temperatures. You want to have toys for your little kids to play with, games and different things like that. For ladies, I always cover that. Have your sanitary napkins or whatever you need. Have flashlights and candles in case something happens. Have a transistor radio. You never know what can happen. We are living in some crazy times now, and a lot of us, like in faith-based, we know we're living in the end times. So it's things going on. So you want to have your flashlights, your transistor radios, your candles. Some people even say have a backpack packed with you. If you have to flee or go, you don't know if people how bad it will be. Just like when the riots came in certain cities and stuff like that, and they started, they had to flee their neighborhoods, some of them, and they were breaking in people's houses and harming them, or breaking in businesses, smashing the windows, stealing products. You never know what can happen because there's a panic. Unfortunately, people are not being rational right now. Just, you can see that just in the stores with them grabbing up everything. You never know what people are going to do. So people are saying have backpacks ready in case something traumatic or bad happens. Have a backpack ready with food, water, supplies, medical supplies, different things like that in it for each person in your family in case you have to flee. Okay? A change of clothes, stuff like that. So don't be too proud. Don't be too, up there to think that things cannot happen or things cannot happen to you. It's better. It's just best to be prepared. Okay? It's best to be prepared. For the kids, have board games. Don't let them be on their phones all day long. That's something I'm concerned about. I don't want them just on their phones all the time. Have board games, crossword puzzles, a deck of cards. Let them play solitaire. Play with them. And, you know, different things like that. Let's see. Drink a lot of water. Orange juices, have juices. Orange juice, grape juice, green teas and stuff like that. Have that on hand. And make sure you're drinking and staying hydrated even while you're in the house. Okay, guys, so the last thing I want you to do is look up antioxidants, research that, and know why you need them. All right? My camera's about to cut off, so I'm about to go. That's telling me it's time to stop. All right, love you all. Be blessed. Share this video. Share this with your extended family, your friends. Share this video because some people are wondering, what in the world do I get at the store for this 2 to 4 week quarantine if it happens. All right, be blessed, and I will see you guys next time right back here on Tracie's Place. Bye.